morning, YouTube. This is Zach with Savage Traveling coming to you from Danoi, Thailand today. This video is going to be a little different. This is kind of more of what projects we've started around the house here. And it's starting with this. This is Chinese kale. That's cucumbers. And this is Chinese kale, and they call it kana here. We started a little hydroponic table here in the back. And we'll get to those here later. This is part of it. These little vegetables look pretty sad right now, but this is kind of an experiment. The big part of this is back here. This hydroponic table I put together. These right here, this and the railing cost me about 900 baht on Lazada. And then I built the stand out of PVC we bought at the local hardware store for about, I think I got maybe $6 in that. That was a freebie there, that styrofoam box I'm using for a reservoir. We are just trying a few things because we've been talking about doing this for a long time, and if this could turn into a long-term business, we're open to that. We just want to test some things out first. We got 7 of these for 50 baht, so about less than $2, and we're gonna set up a bunch of these because this is real popular here in Thailand right now, this styrofoam box method. These lettuce shoots came with those lettuce shoots. I just ran out of space for those, so I could probably cram them like 2 at a time in here, but we wanted to run a box and then run the table and see what that got us, you know what I mean? Because we don't really know what we're doing and we're trying to learn. This is mainly guys' experiments here, are the boxes, and I'm, dealing with the table, but it's a team effort nonetheless. But what I'm getting at here is I got about $70 wrapped up in all this right now. That's 7 of these. Our seeds, these trays, the seedlings I got off of Lazada for about 200 baht. They sent me like 50 or 60 lettuce seedlings for like 200 baht plus maybe like 20 in shipping charges or whatever. But this is a fairly inexpensive project you can get going at home or out here in the village if you wanted to. I had to buy this was probably one of the more expensive things I had to buy besides the table here, because I wanted to get a good one, you know what I mean, and the cord needed to be about 15 feet long. You can buy these and then drill them out yourself, but I don't have a drill or a hole saw, so to save money, instead of buying a bunch of tools that we might only use once or twice a year, I just went and purchased the table. And now, after seeing it in real life, I would definitely just build my own next time. But we're on a time frame here, we do have to leave for my visa run in about a month. So we wanted to try to hurry things up, so that's why we bought seedlings right away. And I just bought the table already made, because honestly, after I priced it all out, after buying these channels and and buying this separately or buying the caps for each one of these, I would have had 900 or more just building it myself. So that's why I was like, let's just buy it. They shipped it to me. This one's cracked. He's supposedly sending me another channel, but it hasn't shown up yet. We'll see how that goes. But you got some of this red oak and I don't know, lettuce. I don't know what it is. It's not that important to me about what it is. It's about the fact to see if we can grow it here. Now we have these natural sun blockage here, which probably will work in our favor, I think, until it rains real hard, and then we'll have to decide what we're gonna do. We got that salang back there, that black stuff, salang. I don't know what the heck they call salang. It's like, you cover your vegetables with it and light can penetrate it, but just not at full blast. But we haven't put that up yet because there's no rain in the forecast for a long time. And we got this banana patch here that as the sun moves, different parts of it gets shaded and stuff. But as you can see, the lettuce is doing pretty darn good. This has been think this is the third day it's been in here. I just been trying to keep an eye on it. Sometimes this channel likes to slow down and leak because then it like comes under and then it leaks out. As you can see, we had a little leak last night, and just trying to work out the bugs with it because this is all brand new to us. You know, like the end game here would be, you know, to make a little lettuce, and if there's any left over, guy can sell it at the market or to the neighbors or whoever. And then if it looks promising, we could expand because we have 12 rye, 2 separate locations outside of town, like 5 minutes outside of town, where we can expand this operation if we want to in the future, you know, which could lead to, you know, a registered business, work permit for me, you know, hire some of the family or whoever for real, you know. And because with agri-tech business here in Thailand, I can actually work it. You know, I can there's certain things you can do with an agri-tech business that you can't do with traditional farming, and that's what we're looking into. I mean, nothing for sure right now because I still probably need to go home and work sometime in the spring. But if we can get our feet wet here and kind of discover the ins and outs of things, maybe we could have a future doing this. And if anything, guy can make a few dollars here and there and then have free food, you know what I mean? So like, it's kind of just like a, hey, we're here, we're not doing much. I've always wanted to do this in some form. Now I have growing experience back home from, like, my dad had leukemia for years, so I learned how to grow a few things to get by, you know what I mean? So this isn't out of my wheelhouse at all. Just doing it out here where you can, you know, do it out behind the house and it's not a big deal because it's just lettuce and vegetables, and the other green stuff's legal here now, so we could start that up. But the price is, like, you get more money out of this lettuce than you do the other green stuff, at least out in this area. But like I said, we're running about 200 parts per million down there in the tank right now. I think I can bump it up a little bit as they're still, you know, we have they're not like straight baby seedlings, so I could probably feed them a little harder, but we're just trying to get them acclimated right now to the new growing system. These are running just under 200 parts per million, and they don't look as good. Like I said, these came from the same package as that, and these just don't look as well. I've debated ever since I put them in here to buddy them up with those, but we're just going to let them run in here. They're not dying. The roots are starting to reach, so I think they'll be okay. I think a little difference, they're getting full sun here most of the day, and that might be good or bad. But on all the all the Facebook pages I've been finding of people running these here in Thailand, they're setting in full sun. They're using way more nutrients than we are. So maybe that's what we're going to have to look into, is upping our parts per million for, you know, for the nutrients, because like every Facebook video I see of a farm doing this here in Thailand, they are adding way more nutrients than we are, even to like the babies. But we're just trying to get our feet wet and see, you know, see what is comfortable for us, you know what I mean? I wanted to show you this. Like these, like I said, this is Chinese kale, they call it kana. This is Guy's little experiment. As you can see, the roots have come through the foam down here, and these will be ready to put, we'll take this, we'll add nutrients to this water here, and it'll set another week or two in there, and then we'll put it in one of these boxes. Like so we have, where is it at? What you do here is you heat that up with the fire, and then you shove that through the lid, and that gives you the hole for the cup, you know what I mean? They sell these on Lazada, don't buy it. You can just get a piece of wire and do it yourself. Yeah, we have more kana over here. I threw a bunch of seeds in here just as for fun. See these little guys? That's all that Chinese kale. And we're just playing around because, like I said, I do have to leave in a month, and we're going to try to get a marriage visa in Ho Chi Minh City. Should be no issues. I make enough money each month. That'll give me 5 more months here to, well, till it gets warmer at home, and then I'll go back and work, you know what I mean. More than likely, unless something crazy happens where we can actually make a few baht with this, but that's really not the goal right now. The goal is just to work out the kinks and, you know, experiment and learn. Because like I said, we do have the 12 Rai outside of town. If this would work and we felt confident with it, we could expand outside of town, or even over here at the cousin's house. They have a little room for us, I'm sure, that we could use, and they'd probably be more than happy to let us play around over there. But right now we're just trying to learn. And here tonight we are going to go and make our holes in the lids of those, and then we're going to fill this up with boxes, and then, you know, load them up with vegetables, because we have, like I said, she wants to do those cucumbers up there, and I have all that canna that we will fill these out and just see where it goes with that. Yeah, I mean, for under $70 or so, we've put together a small farm here, and I think that's pretty impressive, and it just shows you what you can do with the baht to dollar ratio over here compared to what that would have cost me to build back home. Would have been a couple $100, you know what I mean. We got these from the Mukata shop uptown. Like I said, 50 baht for 8 of them. Yeah, we got 8 of those for 50 baht. There was another stack, and we were going to go back and get them, but somebody had already bought them from the lady, and so we're not the only ones doing this around here, because it's like, this is a very popular way to grow vegetables here in Thailand, and it's catching on more and more. So, you know, that's just what we're doing here. Nothing too crazy, mainly just, you know, to give me and Guy something to do instead of hanging out and TikToking all day, because we're really bad about that. And with this, you know, we have, like, you know, you have something to do each day, you know, either checking the water or adding water. Like I said, tonight we got to get those all set up and ready and get the bags inside of them, because you want to line it to, you know, keep your integrity of the styrofoam, because it can leak, or some of them have cracks. You know, they're not brand new. The Mukata gets all their seafood in those, and they're different, you know, the stuff they use to feed you with. So yeah, nothing too spectacular, guys. Just working on the homestead. We're using rainwater right now because we collect it here and it's free, and we have a well here, but we figured we'd use all our rainwater first and hopefully, you know, because all 3 of these are full of rainwater, so that's what we've been pulling from, and they seem to love it, you know what I mean? They really do. So I mean, go figure, right? Like, plants love rain. But yeah, that's the update here at the homestead. I really don't know what the future holds for this project, but if it looks promising, we may expand in the future. So far, it's looking really good. These lettuce here have, you know, this lettuce and the lettuce down there is the same, came in the same package, and as you can tell, that this lettuce in here looks amazing. That lettuce down there is struggling, but you know, we'll see how it goes. It's no big loss if something dies, you know what I mean? Like, literally, we got 55 plants for like $6. They ship down from Chiang Mai. Everything looks pretty good. The boxes were like abused, but that had nothing to do with the seller, you know what I mean? That's just what we're doing now. But for under 70 bucks, we have put this all together. We got a fresh batch of AB nutrients on the way. Had to buy some duct tape. I'm buying a timer so I can set the pump up on a timer. so it shuts off at night, or intermittently through the night. It doesn't need to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this pump was like 200 baht, so I don't know how strong and durable it will be. It will be as running every day. So that's why we got the timer coming, and give it a break throughout the night, especially this time of year. It's cooler, and that's another reason why we figured we'd like hop on this right now, is because it isn't 37 degrees here. We're really concerned about come March and April and May how bad the heat will affect us and stunt the growing, because it gets so much more hotter here that time of year. So like I said, we're going to get our feet wet this time with the cooler temperatures and try to learn, and then hopefully we can use these same methods throughout the hot season, later on in the spring, because if not, we might just have to shut it down and run it winter times for fun. But that's what we're trying to learn right now. At least if we moved it out to the land, we could bury this, or get a plastic container buried in the ground, and that would help keep the water cooler, because the hotter the water is, the more chance that these aren't going to grow as well, just because they would prefer a cooler temperature water. But we're in Thailand and Isaan, it gets hot here. So like I said, it's an experiment. If you have any suggestions or questions, please put them down below, and I'll try to answer them, or try to learn from somebody else's experience, because that's all we're trying to do, is get a grip of what's possible here year round. And we know we can do this time of year here, but we're really curious about March, April, May, June, July, August, the real hot time of year here. And that's what we're trying to learn. All right, guys, it's been Zach with Savage Traveling, out here hanging out behind the house with his hydroponic table and his styrofoam boxes, and probably be a few more videos about hydroponics, maybe not, depending on let's see how this one does, but the idea would be to take this into the future, start a business, hire some Thai employees, yada yada, and try to make a few dollars. But for right now, we're just having a little fun, and we'll definitely eat well here in a couple weeks. So all right, guys, peace. Thanks for watching.